Hi, I'm Mrs. Greenwood, and today we are going to be creating and pre-recording a read aloud with Screencastify. So this is a great way for younger students, you can incorporate a book and you can incorporate a read aloud. For older students, you could do excerpts of a textbook or some type of ancillary material that the students would be able to maybe don't have directly in front of them due to the virtual nature of the course of a year, or it's something that you want to be able to remember and have them remember so that they have the information in front of them. So I'm going to go over some quick little instructions and then we'll just see how it works. So basically, you're going to want to open a Google slide. I created this on Slide, or you can use PowerPoint. You're just going to create a number of blank text, no text boxes slides. So they're just basic slides. And you're going to capture a page on basically each page of the book that you're going to read. I use my camera on my phone. I took a picture of them. It didn't make a great picture. So you can edit that and move that around however you want to. And then you're going to want to add those images to the slide in your presentation. And you can do that, like if you use your phone or an iPad or something, you can directly put it right into your slide so you don't have to email it to yourself later. You can do either way. So it just seemed to be a little bit easier for photo editing. I use Snippet after I emailed the pictures. But if you have a lengthy book, then you might not want to do that. And I would just suggest doing this for just a few minutes anyway. It's to be able to hold the student's attention is going to be difficult. And don't forget your pre strategies, your during strategies, and your after strategies. What are you going to do to make sure that they are ready to read or even read along with you? So basically, this is the directions on getting, and I'm going to move myself out of the way. So you're going to put yourself in present mode. You're going to open Screencastify. We know how to do that. It's the little orange fish looking thing in your extensions. And you're going to want to use the browser tab, recording option, and enable the microphone. So everything is basically right here in front of you for Screencastify. Oops. And basically, when you're ready to record, just make sure there's no background noise. When you hit the record button, it's going to count down 3, 2, 1, and then a little beep is going to let you know that recording has started. You can then, move your presentation. I usually use the N button for the next slide. And then again, in the left-hand corner or wherever you decide to place them is the controls for the Screencastify. And you can write on the screen, don't forget that. So if it's something you want to highlight for the students, then make sure that they get that information. Once you finish it, you're going to hit the red square, the little circle square in the left-hand side. It's going to stop it, and then it's going to give you an option to do some editing. So you're going to open it in editing. You're going to download it to Drive, and then you're going to be able to share it to anything that you want to share it to, your classroom, getting a code. You can even publish it to YouTube if you want to share it for students who are sort of out there, maybe without a lot of access to anything but other than some YouTube on their phone. Again, download it, insert this in your lessons, and here is a quick and easy little tutorial. And then let's start. So good morning, class. This is going to be a read aloud today of 50 Ways to Save the Earth by Anne Jankelowicz. So basically, as the instructor, you're going to go through the screen. You're going to go through the book, show it on the screen, not go through the screen. You're going to show the book on the screen. The students get to see the really pretty photos. Obviously, they're not going to have this book at home. So chapter 1, putting the trash can on a diet. What do you think that means? Putting the trash can on a diet. Respond in the chat box if you know what that means. Think about what we've been talking about in science class about how are we going to put this trash can on a diet? And then, again, these are not great pictures because they just didn't turn out very well from capturing them. If I was going to do it with my students, obviously I would do a little bit better job to make sure that they are able to read along as well as listen. So as the teacher, this is on page 13. Look at this beautiful picture. What do we think we're going to talk about today? Remember, we're putting the trash can on a diet. So buy reusable. Instead of buying a throwaway product, why not choose to buy the same thing in a reusable form? A washable handkerchief instead of tissues, normal dishware instead of plastic plates and cups, a washcloth instead of wipes, which take a long time to decompose, dish towels instead of paper towels. They create much less waste and harm the planet less. And then you can continue reading on with the students. Or it's a good time to always stop and ask them some questions about what they think is going to happen, maybe a prediction. And then in your during reading strategies, you could have a graphic organizer, depending on the age of the student, or asking them some questions. So then we go on to the next page. We're going to be sorting our trash. And then as the teacher, you would read that again. Do you know that when you recycle your aluminum cans, you're helping to conserve nature and natural resources? The same goes for your plastic bottles. Less petroleum used. Your paper, fewer trees are cut down. Or steel cans, less iron ore dug out of the ground. Recycling uses less energy than manufacturing from scratch. And again, then you would continue reading on. So you can do this for, again, a textbook. You could do it for some type of primary source, especially primary sources where there's like a diary entry or a letter or something that the students wouldn't have access to directly in front of them. And then basically, like I said, then you stop your sharing. You can click here to stop sharing. And then it's going to go right into your Screencastify folder in Google Drive. And you can upload it to Classroom. You can download it to have it into an MP4 file. You can also download it to YouTube, whatever you happen to, however that's going to help you to put that into the classroom for your students.